first step when solving a system of equation using elimination is you have to make sure that both of your equations are in standard form. That's something x plus something y equals something. For number one, we've got that taken care of. We're good. Your next step is to look for matching opposites. We've got a negative 4x and a positive 4x. So we already have our opposites. This is now an addition problem. What is negative 4x plus 4x?
X.
0.
0. They cancel out. What is negative 2y plus 8y?
6y.
What's negative 12 plus negative 24?
36. Negative 36.
Negative 36. Once you get this far, you now have a one-step solution. Divide by 6 on both sides, and what does y equal? Negative 6. Once you solve for one of your variables, plug that back into one of your original equations. 4x plus 8y equals negative 24. It does not matter which one you plug in for. What's 8 times negative 6?
Negative 6.
Negative 48.
Oh.
I add 48 to both sides. What's negative 24 plus 48? 24. And what's 24 divided by 4? X equals 6. Once you get what x equals and what y equals, you have an ordered pair. Remember, it doesn't matter which one you solve for first, as long as you write what your x is equal to first and what your y is equal to first. But as far as the order in which you solve them, that doesn't matter. Just make sure you write them in the correct order when you write your solution. All right, number 2, the first thing that I do is make sure I have opposites. Make sure they're in standard form. And so I'm good on both ends, so I'm going to set up an addition problem. What's 4x plus negative 4x?
0.
They cancel out. What's 8y plus 2y?
10y.
And what's 20 plus negative 30?
10.
Positive or negative?
No, negative.
Negative 10. I have a one-step equation, so I divide by 10. What's negative 10 divided by 10?
Negative 1.
Y equals negative 1. When you get this far, you plug it back into one of your original equations. Again, it does not matter which one. 4x plus 8y equals 20. We said y equals negative 1. So I solve for x now. 8 times negative 1 is negative 8. Bring everything else down. Add 8 to both sides. What's 20 plus 8? And 28 divided by 4? 7. So my ordered pair is 7, negative 1. Let's look at one where we do not have opposites. Look at number 3. We got x minus y equals 11 and 2x plus y equals 19. Actually, we do have opposites. We've got negative y and positive y. I was looking at my x's, but if you already have opposites, then use those. What's x plus 2x?
3x.
What's negative y plus y?
0.
Those cancel out. What's 11 plus 19?
30.
30 divided by 3? X equals 10. Take that x, plug it back into one of your original equations. It does not matter which one. What is 11 minus 10? 1. And what's 1 divided by negative 1? Negative 1. So my ordered pair is 10, negative 1. Remember, you can't have a negative y here, so you have to divide by -1 in order to change these signs, and that makes your y negative number. Let's skip on down to number 9, where we do not have opposites. We have 5x plus y equals 9 and 10x minus 7y equals -18. First, make sure they're in standard form. They are. So we move on to finding opposites. I do not have opposites, but I do have numbers that could be easily manipulated, and I do have a variable that already has opposite signs. If you look at your y, you got a positive y and a -7y. I would use the one that you already have opposite signs. Now, if you want to make opposites out of your x's by turning 5 into -10, you can totally do that. But I'm going to multiply the top by 7. What's 7 times 5x?
35x.
What's 7 times y?
7y.
And 7 times 9?
49. I meant, no, not 49.
63. So I'm going to add these together. What's 10x plus 35x? -7y plus 7y. Those cancel out. And -18 plus 63. What do I do when I have different signs? I subtract. So what's 63 minus 18?
Say that again.
What's 63 minus 18? 45. What's 45 divided by 45? When I solve for my first variable, what do I do with that number? Plug it back into the original equation. Plug it back into one of the original equations. It doesn't matter which one. 5x plus y equals 9. What's 5 times 1? And what's 9 minus 5? Y equals 4. So my ordered pair is 1, 4. Alright, look at number 11. We have -3x plus 7y equals -16 and -9x plus 5y equals +16. We have to come up with opposites. The easiest way to do that is going to be -3x. We need to turn into a +9 because we have to have the opposite of -9x. What do I multiply -3 by to get +9? -3. So what's -3 times -3x? -3 times 7y. And -3 times -16. +48. Alright, now I have opposites. What's -9x plus 9x? They cancel out. 5y plus -21y.
60, -61.
And -16y. And 16 plus 48. 64. What is 64 divided by -16? -4. Alright, once I solve for my first variable, what do I do?
Plug
Plug
it
it into one of the original equations. -3x plus 7y equals -16. What is 7 times -4? -28. What's -16 plus 28? Remember, different signs subtract. It's got to be positive because 20 is a bigger number. +12. What's 12 divided by -3?
-4.
So my ordered pair is -4, -4. Alright, let's try one where they are not in standard form. I have 2x minus y equals 5. And 4x equals negative 3y. So just write this down on a piece of paper.
Going on that.
First thing I have to do is I have to be in standard form. I've got 2x minus y equals 5. That is in standard form. So I'm good on that one. For 4x equals negative 3y, I'm not in standard form. I have to have something x plus something y equals something. So I need to get this negative 3y to the left side of the equation. I do that by doing the inverse operation. If I have negative 3y, I need to add 3y to both sides. Those cancel out on the right side. I cannot combine like terms, so I just write them beside each other. Whatever number is with x, wherever my x is, that comes first. 4x plus 3y. And if I don't have anything on the right side, I'm just going to write 0. So now I have a system that I can solve using elimination. I do not have opposites, so I have to manipulate one of the equations to get opposites. If I already have opposite signs, then manipulate the first equation so that negative y becomes negative 3y. So those can be my opposites. That way I don't have to deal with multiplying everything by a negative number. 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times negative y is negative 3y. 3 times 5 is 15. 4x plus 6x is 10x. 3y minus 3y is 0. 0 plus 15 is 15. When I divide these, 15 will not divide by 10 evenly. So I leave it as a fraction. If this will simplify, simplify. It will simplify because 5 will go into both of those. 15 divided by 5 is 3. 10 divided by 5 is 2. So x is 3 halves. When you get what x equals, plug that back into one of your original equations. 2 times 3 halves minus y equals 5. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 divided by 3 is 3. Subtract 3 from both sides. Negative y equals 2. I can't have a negative y, so I have to divide by negative 1. And I get y equals negative 2. So my ordered pair is 3 halves, negative 2. And I can plug those back in to make sure I get the right answer.